Well, today's episode, we're just going to do two reviews due to my timing that I did not plan properly. We're just going to review DDT Pro Wrestling with an event that took place back in July 3rd. This one is the finals of King of DDT. This is the annual tournament where they face off who will challenge for the champion, the KO-D Openweight Championship. But however, the previous champion Tetsuya Endo had to relinquish the title due to a concussion that he suffered in Cyberfight. But in this year's tournament, they decided to crown a brand new champion instead. And of course, right now we also got AEW Dynamite, Fyter Fest. We have, of course, the TNT title on the line between Warlow and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. The interim AEW World titles on the line between our champion Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita. And our main event, we have the AEW Tag Team titles on the line in a three-way between Swerve in Our Glory, Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, and of course, the Young Bucks. And of course, we got some interesting news updates, and I'm willing to share what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Gerard here. So, let's begin with DDT Pro Wrestling with King of DDT 2022 in the finals. Now, if you guys aren't familiarized with King of DDT, this is an annual tournament to determine who will face the champion of the KO-D Openweight title. However, in Cyberfight, the previous champion Tetsuya Endo had to relinquish the title since he suffered a concussion in Cyberfight in the hands of Nakajima of Congo. So basically, he couldn't be competing in it, but he had no other choice but to do it. So the DDT officials made a decision: whoever wins the tournament will be declared the new KO-D champion. So we'll see what happens then. Now we do have two pre-shows that took place. The first one, we have Koi Kojima, Soma Takoa, and Toto Washi to take on the three members of Eruption, um, Hideki Okatani, Saki Akai, and Yukio Sakaguchi. Now this was a very interesting match because, as one of their members of Eruption, Kasusa Iguchi, he is part in the semifinals of the KOD, the King of the DDT. So I thought it was interesting that now these three has come up. However, I was a bit surprised that Okatani was able to pick up a very impressive win when he pinned Toy Kojima, giving Eruption a very solid victory for them. Now, our next match, we have a very unique match. We have Yuko Ishida, Yukio Naya, and Yuji Ino taking on Damnation TA, consistent of Kanon, MJ Paul, and Daisuke Sasaki. Now, as you know, these guys are Damnation TA are very dangerous. They don't play well with others. They even use ways to cheat. That's exactly they were doing this entire time of this particular match. However, it was, of course, Kanon who picked up the victory when he pinned Yuki Ashida, and it was over right from there. Now, our first match, we have a very interesting one. We have Antonio Honda, Kasuka Irada, and Akito taking on the Freaks, the Pheromones, Inamari, Dino, and oh, and Ino. So it's kind of crazy. As you know, Akito played the vice president of Pheromones, which was kind of weird. but he's not as a member of Pheromones. He looks like he's out of that whole thing. I don't know why. He was a bit of a freak the way he did things. But however, he was the one who suffered the loss, all thanks to Yuji Ino, as always. Like Yuki Ino, of course, it was kind of crazy. So I thought it was nuts. Now, as soon as this match was done, we received a surprise visit from Tetsuya Endo. Talked about that he is self-aware about what just took place in Cyber Fight. He's willing to take responsibility of what happened because I don't think he was self-aware how hard Nakajima can hit. So he's willing to move forward. But one way or the other, we know that there's a possibility he could get his hands on the KO-D title, the KO-D Openweight title in the future once he's better up. So the real question, who will be the next champion? Well, we'll get to that. Now, we do have two semifinal matches in the King of the KO-D 2022. First match, we got Naomi Yoshimura of Disaster Box taking on Yuki Ino of 37 Kamina. This was a very interesting match. I mean, I seen Naomi Yoshimura. He's a very powerhouse wrestler type, and Yuki Ino, he was an amazing champion before, but he is determined to go even higher. But unfortunately, Power defeated Yuki Ino, giving Yoshimura the opportunity to win with the pinfall. Now, our next match, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Jun Akiyama taking on Kazusada Iguchi. Now, Iguchi has suffered many times. His determination to win this match was everything to him. So basically, he had to go up against a much better veteran. Now, you would say that Jun Akiyama has the advantage because of his wrestling experience, but this time it did not work. Basically, it was, of course, Iguchi who walked out as victor. Was surprising, so he made it all the way to the finals. So it was very good. Now, our next match, we got Burning. Burning consistent of Yuya Koroku and Yosuke Okada taking on Masahiro Takanashi and Hari Arashima. Now, I thought this match was very impressive, but in my surprise, it was Yusuke Okada who picked up the victory by pinning Masahiro Takanashi. However, the reason this was very surprising was because Masahiro Takanashi is the current DDT Universal Champion. So on a technicality, if you pin the champion, you get an automatic title shot. So that could take place any given time since then. So we'll find out when will that come in. Now, our next match, we have 37 Kamina, consistent of Shuna Katsumata and Maho, taking on Chris Brooks and Andrew Everett, who is one of the most recent foreign talent that DDT has brought into the promotion. I thought this match was very impressive because, you know, Andrew Everett, I've seen him maybe about a couple of times, but he picked up a very good win in this one when he pinned Katsumata, and that was over. And I'm sure Chris Brooks is very pleased with himself because he doesn't like Katsumata. Now, our main event is the King of DDT 2022 final. We have, of course, Naomi Yoshimura versus Kazusada Iguchi. I thought this match was great because we have two strong powerhouses in this particular match. Now, this becomes a very anticipated move, but I was like happy with the result because it was in fact Iguchi who picked up the win with a pinfall 1, 2, 3, and he actually pulled it off. After many years of trying to reach the top, he finally has done it. I don't think anybody would have anticipated he would do it, but he did it. It was great. And not to mention, in the post-match promo, he did say that he will be waiting for Endo to make his return because there is no secret. Endo will definitely want his title back. So we'll see when that happens. So I think that's pretty much it what we got. So I believe it's time for AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest. Okay, it's Wednesday night, and you all know what that means. That means it's AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest. Our opening match is the TNT Championship. We have Orange Cassidy with the Best Friends. Now, here's the interesting part. The Best Friends got their managing license, all thanks to he's very nice and he's very evil, Danhausen. So they said they even going to help cheat in this match. Now, I don't know if that's a good idea because you're facing a big, powerful dude. We're talking about Warlow, Mr. Mayhem himself. So I thought it was very interesting. Best Friends brought a chainsaw. I'm like, what the hell? They were kicked out by Bryce. I just can't believe that happened. But I don't know. Orange Cassidy had something up his sleeve. When Warlow was chasing him, he's like realizing, okay, he's leading me to a trap, and he saw it was Danhausen. Danhausen was about to, you know, curse him, so he's like, no, I don't think it's gonna work. So he just let him go, and I thought it was so great. But when that happened, Orange Cassidy applied the orange punch. They barely took him down, so it took him maybe a few times. But however, it was a interesting power bomb. They kind of put Orange Cassidy away for, of course, Warlow to retain the title. So I thought it was very interesting to do that. Now, as you know, next week we'll have the barbed wire match, and the Jericho Appreciation Society will be suspended in a shark cage. Jericho made it perfectly clear what he's going to do. He said that he's going to bring back the Painmaker, his alter ego that it's undefeated. If you guys aren't familiarized with the Painmaker, that was what he used against Kazuchika Okada one time in New Japan. So we'll see what happens then. Now Eddie Kingston, as you know, he sets out he's going to make him pay. He says, go ahead, bring the Painmaker, I don't care. So he's looking forward to it. And you see Ruby and Ortiz are like, they know he's going to be in a big fight, but this is going to be like very interesting. Now our next match is the AEW Interim World Championship. I thought this match was great. We have the rising star of Japan, Konosuke Takeshita, taking on Jon Moxley. I thought it was an unbelievable match. I mean, I have to say, Takeshita has thrown in some of the best matches we've ever watched. I mean, despite the fact that he loses some of their bigger matches, it doesn't change anything. I mean, he is talented, he is good, but I thought it was amazing how this one is. But unfortunately, Takeshita ended up in the wrong side of the Bulldog choke by Moxley, giving him the chance to tap out, and that's what exactly happened. Now, the House of Black, as you know, they are now beginning their sights to start a war against none other than Darby Allin. Now, Darby Allin came out last week to show respect to Brody King. He wasn't having it, so basically there's that. But if you ever knew, Brody King attacked Darby Allin while he was doing an autograph session in some store in broad daylight. So basically, we will see the House of Black going up into war with him. So we'll see what happens then. Now, Christian Cage comes out along with Luchasaurus because Luchasaurus is set to face against Griffin. But before that, Christian Cage called out Brian Pillman Jr., saying that, his dad was, one of those wrestlers that many people say he never won a championship, all this and that. But he thinks that, Brian Pillman is an embarrassment to his dad, his legacy. So he's now targeting people who has fathers that passed away. I wouldn't be surprised. But however, he made Luchasaurus realize Griff Garrison almost looks similar as Jungle Boy. So basically, he sent a dangerous dinosaur into the path. But unfortunately, he put him in that kind of like the snare trap called the Tapper, giving him the opportunity. But however, he wasn't done yet. He was going to take Griffin out by putting him through a table. But Brian Pillman came to the save, but it was not enough. Both men were put through a table regardless. Now, we do get an interview with members of the Jericho Appreciation Society. They're not happy with the fact that they're going to be in a shark cage. Tony Schiavone said he has no clue how high it is and all this and that. And then Garcia later turned his attention saying that Wheeler Yuta, he is a fake, that he is not a tough guy like he claims he is, that he's stolen that he's a Daniel Garcia wannabe. That's what he thinks it is. I mean, Wheeler Yuta is not that. He's a little different than that. But that's what he thinks. And he believes that he will strip him of the pure championship. Now let's move on. Then we do have another interview with Hangman Page. As you know, Hangman Page has not been on recent good luck. Recently, he did not win the Battle Royale, but he and John Silver, along with Reynolds, decided they wanted to take on the House of Black, since it was Brody King that annihilated them both. So that's going to be an interesting development. However, our next match is Jake Hager versus Claudio Castelloni. This was a feud that happened. As you know, these two were tag team partners. They crossed paths in the past. I thought this match was great. I did like how Claudio picked up Hager and spin him around in circles until he finally powerbombed. Even the Menard and Parker tried to help, but it was no good. It gave Claudio the chance to pick up a good victory. Now, once again, we do get another interview with Hook. This time, dead silent. Then we do get another interview with Thunderstorm. As you know, Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm have been a very new, impressive tag team. But however, their little Reina parade was interrupted by Britt Baker, who claims that the entire women's division is a mess. It sounds kind of like what Will Ospreay would say when he thinks that things are not exactly like he wanted. He thinks he's there to fix it. But we'll see those. We probably will see those guys come cross paths sooner or later. Now, our next match, we have Serena Deeb versus Anna Jay. I thought this match was very good, but however, Anna Jay tried maybe two times, I believe, the Queen Slayer, but did not work until Serena Deeb put the Serenity Lock on her, and it was over. But however, she refuses to let her go until Mercedes Martinez shows up to give a helping hand. But later, we did see Anna Jay in the back, really hurt. But Tay Conti thinks that she's made made mistakes. So basically, she's like giving her the choice that she's better off leaving Dark Order to be with her instead, to find real success. So we don't know if Anna Jay is willing to cross that path. Now, Jade Cargill, along with Hathaway, Hogan, and of course Layla Gray, even though they don't want her there, they still have their sights set on Chris Statlander and Athena. So basically, they had enough of them in this and that. Now, Lethal and Dud comes out saying that, that Samoa Joe will be losing his title to him in Death by Dishonor. We will see when that happens too. Now, our main event is the AEW World Tag Team titles. In a three-way, we have Team Taz, Hobbs and Starks versus Swerve in Our Glory, Strickland and Lee versus the Young Bucks. I thought this match was amazing. I liked every moment that happened, but I think the best moments are like Swerve and Nick Jackson. They were right there. I did not anticipate a whole lot on that, but it was great. But of course, I'm a fan of Keith Lee, how he does things. Big guy, very athletic, he can do things beyond his limits. But I'm like, impressive. But it was Swerve that picked up the victory when he pulled the stump right in the chest of Ricky Starks, while Keith Lee took out Hobbs and the Bucks out, giving the chance for him to pick up a victory. 1, 2, 3. We got brand new tag team champions. I was so happy. I was like, wow, what a great timing. I thought it was great. I loved it. So we'll see what happens then. So we'll see if the Bucks will get a rematch, or will Hobbs and Starks will continue to pursue those titles. That is something we definitely will pay attention to. But at the moment, let's end it with the review right here and move on with news updates. Okay, our last thing we're going to do is the news updates. Now, you may have heard that it's been told Sasha Banks and Naomi are no longer in WWE, so they're gone. Some of you were saying, how come WWE did not announce it? Well, I don't think they wanted to, because, they probably felt you don't deserve to be noticed. That's what I think. but that's not important at this point. It was now being told and reported that now that Sasha Banks has been released, many wrestling promotions were trying to book her for events that they want to do. However, she made it perfectly clear that at this moment she will not be accepting any wrestling promotion, any wrestling bookings at this time until January 1st of 2023. But however, she will be accepting bookings for conventions, which is pretty much okay. So I'm not sure if she will be going to the San Diego Comic Con, which is my turf. I'm going to be working that event anyway for 5 days straight. I'm going to be having a hard time trying to do this, but I'll put that as at a later timing. But we don't know yet. But I think that's what we're being told, that Sasha will only be doing convention center appearances. So we'll see about that. Now, as you guys know, I've been covering a lot of the announces what matches Terminus 3 has been announced. Well, it's been announced for the commentating team. We got Ian Riccomani and Dave Zach will be commentating for Terminus 3. I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited too. Now, interesting news, as I mentioned, Deadlock Pro Wrestling has announced many wrestlers that will be making their. We did have, of course, Mizuki announced to be making theirs. So does Jungle Kiona. But the recent developments, we have Dante Marr will be making his debut at Deadlock Pro Wrestling. His opponent will be none other than Diego Hill. This will be on August 6th for Believe the Hype, which I'm excited to see. Now, for all you Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling fans out there, get ready for the return of the Wrestle Princess 3 that will take place in October 9th. I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited too. Now, as you know, we do have on the 24th of July the Midsummer Champions in Nagoya. However, there will be another event taking place the day before that. That is Stardom in Showcase. Now, there's some interesting matches that have been announced. Now, here are the ones that they did announce. We have the Coffin match between the Grim Reaper versus Starlight Kid versus Saya Kamitani. Now, if you guys saw recently, Saya Kamitani was choked out by the Grim Reapers, so did Starlight Kid along. In both cases, Rossi was involved. Our next match is a Falls Count Anywhere match. In a four-way, we have Tam Nakano, Azumi, Koguma, and Momo Watanabe involved. So that's kind of. And then we got a hardcore match between Oh My Julia, because DDM members, Mai Sakura and Julia, to take on the members of Prominence, Suzuki and Risa Sera. This is a feud that has been heating up. As you know, Mai Sakurai will do anything to protect Julia from Prominence. As you know, Prominence are determined to destroy her once and for all. And then, of course, we have this I Quit match between members of God's Eye, Mirai and Sayuri, taking on the other members of Prominence. We have Akane Fujita and Kurumi Hiragi. Now, Kurumi Hiragi showed up in New Blood and choked out Sudi. I don't know what's that all about, but it happened. But also another match was added recently, a Cosmic Rule match in the summer. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, there is this video they posted out where Mina Shirakawa and Unagi were doing a photo shoot in their bikinis. They kind of went out of place. So they set up in a match between the members of Cosmic Angels. Unagi will be teaming up with Saki. As you know, those two have been getting along recently. As for Mina's partner is none other the latest member of Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi. I'm kind of wondering why they put her, but I think I can see, as you know, Mina has always been the right hand of Tam since the beginning, and I feel that Natsupoi could be the left hand. So maybe that's the possibility, but we'll see about that. So I think that's pretty much it what we got, so let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody's enjoying this episode. Coming up, we do have Thursday Wrestling. We have, of course, MLW Fusion, NXT UK, and of course Impact. Now, as we speak, it's already the 13th of July. Right now in Japan is the 13th of it's July 14th, and this was the particular day where Natsupoi will be making her appearance as a member of Cosmic Angels. Basically, I'm not sure if I'll be seeing that match right away because, like I said, I don't have the Stardom World. I do watch all the Stardom stuff on watchprowrestling.org, which is something I've normally been using a lot. There are times they do put it on. Sometimes I have to wait maybe a couple of days. I'm not sure. That depends. As you know, I want to keep an update on that for all of you. What's been going on? Natsupoi did reveal that she is going to be has been rehearsing the dance routine that the Cosmic Angels did. Unagi did say that she's going to keep an eye on her because she's not involved with both Mina and Tam in this match. So we'll see how that goes. I did mention Waka will be out for some time due to the fact that she might have been injured during Summer Champions recently this past Saturday on the 9th. So we'll see about that. As for colors, they got other things they're going to be doing. But anything else, we'll see about that. I'll be doing more stuff going around. So I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day.